Big news, big news. Just
big rumors, big rumors.
That's a good qualification. That's a good point. According to sources, apparently that Variety had, but also that have also talked to Wall Street Journal and Time and stuff. There is going to be, or at least in the talks, there is a purchase by YouTube, aka Google, of Twitch for $1 billion.
Like in cash.
In cash, $1 billion. They're just going to give them probably not physical cash. I hope not. But
that'd be pretty cool if it's just like a truck.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be a big dump truck, man.
Yeah, it would
you have to have a lot of hundreds, a lot of thousands. Anyway, $1 billion is a lot of money. But I have heard.
How much did Oculus Rift get bought for? Was that $2 billion or $2 million?
It was not $2 million. Must have been more than that.
Okay.
I don't remember offhand.
And then Beats by Dre got bought out by some 2 point some million. Or
what?
Like 2 point some billion or something.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Apple bought it. You didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh yeah, I think Apple bought it, and now I think Dre is the first African American multi-billionaire or something like that now or something.
Well, good job to him. That just seems so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So $1 billion for Twitch seems kind of low to me. I don't know. Yeah,
right. So that's an interesting point that people have brought up. I saw, for example, AJ posting about how he himself had kind of valued it, tried to engage in a little valuation, and he thought that it should be worth more than that.
Right.
YouTube was bought in the first place by Google for $1.5 billion. It's like 1.4 billion or something like that. That was a while ago already. That was half a dozen years ago or more. But $1 billion, even though it sounds like a crazy amount, considering how much traffic Twitch has and how many people watch, how many man hours of watching there are every month, and the fact that it takes up a not insignificant portion of internet bandwidth, I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen it gone for more.
Right. And a lot of people were just oh my gosh, now that this is happening, I don't know if I want to use Twitch anymore, kind of stuff. My response to that was you didn't think this was going to happen? Somebody was going to buy out Twitch, right? I just felt like it was going to happen. It's either going to be YouTube or Microsoft.
Right, that's the other rumor. That Microsoft was pursuing them.
Right. Yeah. Or even Apple or something.
Right,
something was going to buy them. Someone was going to buy them. So, it's going to happen. So, the question is, what's the least evil of the evils, right?
Okay.
So, right.
Well, people are worried in particular about the copyright
aspects
of this situation. So when you stream a game online without permission from the copyright owner, you're infringing on that person's copyright.
So someone did say it was $2 billion for Oculus.
$2 billion for Oculus Rift.
Yeah, but right. Go ahead, copyright.
Right. So you are infringing. Now, a lot of game publishers nowadays kind of give an implicit license or even in some cases an actual license to everybody who has the game. But that's not always the case. In fact, not usually the case. So when you stream, you're most likely committing infringement. People talk about, is it fair use? Maybe sometimes, but probably not most of the time. It's probably not. When you put something on YouTube, as a result, it's not uncommon to hear about people's footage getting taken down. It's happened to us.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people who that's happened to. And it's not always by actual Capcom, for example. So it's not just the case that Capcom sends a letter to YouTube saying, take down this video. Sometimes it's random companies. Companies that don't seemingly have any real relation to the material itself, but they send letters to YouTube, and YouTube's system is set up such that it shoots before it asks questions. Right? It issues this little notice. It stops your monetization. It sends monetization over to the other side.
Right.
It just kind of does that stuff. And you can fight it.
It's all automated.
It's automated,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can fight that stuff, but it's not. It's a lot of work and blah blah blah. So people are worried about that happening on Twitch as well as on YouTube, because right now Twitch pretty much just lets things rock. It's a very rare to hear about a takedown on Twitch. In fact, I don't even know what the sequence of events that they go through is. I know YouTube's policy because I've done it, but I don't know how Twitch deals with it because I haven't seen it.
Right, and the interesting thing about it too is that the current gen consoles just stream directly to Twitch, right? So in my opinion, if Google is planning to buy them, like, I can't see them throwing out a bunch of copyright stuff because they know what's on there. They know everything what's going on there. So,
but I don't know what their plan is.
Right,
and
right.
Their plan might not be the open, easy streaming for everybody at any time that we have today. Maybe their plan is something that's more controlled, that they can monetize it in a different way.
Yeah, that's the other question too, is will they take the monetization away?
Right.
Right? Because they could let you stream, but then they just say you can't make any of the money off the ads or something like that.
I mean, for example, that's happened for some YouTube channels. I mean, like Nintendo, for example. You put up Nintendo stuff now, it's...
Yeah, I think Mario Kart 8's going to have the ability to upload stuff to YouTube automatically, but it all belongs to Nintendo. So if you get any monetization that comes from any uploaded Mario Kart 8 footage goes to Nintendo.
Right, right. I obviously really hope that Google wouldn't do anything to kill what we have going, because we have an awesome thing going. And everybody knows, you know, there's this like stupid game everybody plays on the internet with respect to copyright. I mean, because I've done this and I've seen the contracts and stuff, where you're always like, okay, person I'm making a deal with, promise me, give me a warranty or warrant that you'll take care of all the copyright concerns, and that if you know, whatever you're doing online is totally good and there's no third-party complaints and we're not going to get sued. That's in like every deal, but everybody knows that nobody has the rights. Like, it's super rare for somebody to actually go call Nintendo, hey Nintendo, like, can I get the rights? Oh yeah, sure, here's the rights. That it's very rare. So everybody plays this stupid game of just kind of hiding things, and it's really weird. And I can imagine that is annoying for people who ultimately have the responsibility. I can understand them not wanting to deal with that. That's part of why YouTube shoots first before they investigate, because they want to make sure that they qualify for certain protections that make it so that they're not liable in ways that they otherwise might be.
Okay.
So if their lawyers get a hold of Twitch, and I'm worried about them doing the same kind of thing that they did to YouTube. YouTube back in the day was anything went.
Right.
And Twitch is currently like that now. And I know Twitch doesn't have the legal department, like a big enough legal department to really do that stuff now. But YouTube has 1 million lawyers,
right?
And they can do that stuff.
I mean, the whole dangerous thing really comes down to is, like you said, YouTube used to be anything goes, but it was when people started actually making money and careers off of it that all of a sudden all these people are like, wait a minute, are they making money off of my stuff? Right? Twitch is probably the same thing is going to happen, right?
It very well might, which would really, really suck.
Right.
And I would hope that if it did, that somebody else would be like, you know, let's just switch to YouTube, let's switch to Daily Motion or something. I would hope that that's the case, but I don't know.
Okay. But I mean, the good thing about it, obviously, is that Twitch getting bought out by Google would give them Google's infrastructure.
True. Yeah. Right.
And, I mean, that's got to be one of the most powerful infrastructures on the planet, if not the most powerful infrastructure right now.
So, somebody else brings up the issue of the chat on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And YouTube's chat is god-awful. And YouTube posters suck, but YouTube has taken steps to address that by trying to make it so that you can't be anonymous. You have to have your Google Plus business going on that I just can't stand. And I would hate to have my Google Plus connected to my Twitch account. Like, that would just...
But, I mean, wouldn't that also... Because I've always said that, you know, Twitch needs some sort of method of not letting people create 90 accounts, right? So
I think it's fine to verify an email or whatever. But I really don't want... I don't want to have my actual David Phillip Graham says...
Absolutely. Like, I think it's fine if you can put whatever nickname you want in there, but, like, having one name tied to one email address or something like that, you know what I mean? Or something, because right now... That's one of the things that lets people say whatever they want on a Twitch chat. Right, because if they get banned, they just go create, you know, something else.
Yeah, I mean, there are, you know, there are some mean people who chat, and there's some usernames that are not very nice. But all in all, I'm willing to take that stuff. I like the fact that there's this free, anonymous chat thing that you can use. I just think that that's a cool idea. I don't want to see that go away.
Yeah, I mean, the worry for me, though, is that it's not, like, I'm not personally offended by it. I don't care about the Twitch chat, but it's definitely a blocker to casual consumption. You know what I mean? Like, if you, let's say you just decide to turn on football, and there's chat next to it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, nobody's going to want to watch it. You know what I
God,
mean?
that
Because
chat would be horrible.
that chat would be the worst thing imaginable, right? So it would be 10 times worse than anything you could even imagine on Twitch. That's what I'm afraid of, is I just feel like the Twitch chat might be something that holds back growth of competitive gaming. You know what I mean? That overall is a barrier for public acceptance, because you're just gonna get like some person, hey, I've heard about this League of Legends thing, let me go check it out, and they go check it out, and all of a sudden there's just all this horrible chat, which is why I said, like, it should just be closed by default. Like, you should volunteer to go to it, click a button, and have it pop open and say, you know, there is nothing, like, this is not moderated. You must click I agree to chat. You click I agree and you go.
Interesting.
Just have it closed, but then just click it open. Like, I don't know why they don't do that. I just think, because then you have everything, right? So, anyway.
I see the chat blowing up for some reason behind you. I couldn't see why. But, so anyway, the deal's not done.
Oh, I think it's because Mike is there. Oh, yeah, Mike is shooting me down.
I see, the cop.
He's Twitch copping me.
Got the cop.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not done. The deal. It has to go.
Yeah.
They're expecting. Google is expecting that they'll have to go through regulators for antitrust concerns. Obviously, YouTube has a gigantic portion of the live or the video streaming market online, and Twitch has a gigantic portion of the live side of that.
Right.
And so together, would they be too big? Maybe, I don't know. So it's not done.
Right.
There's definitely still more negotiation to happen, and a little bit of greasing the wheels, and when it comes to politics, and I don't have a very high estimation of that process myself.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see whatever happens.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's move on to some other topics. I know last week Mike and I talked about the ECT bracket situation.
Yeah.
And you really wanted to get some words in on the ECT brackets, but obviously you were heading out.
Right.
Oh, actually, that was when you were just recovering from jet lag and such like that. So
oh man, yeah, I was very tired.
I know you had a lot of stuff that you wanted to say.
In watching you guys when I watched the show last week.
Right.
I thought that you specifically handled it pretty well.
Okay, okay.
I don't agree with what Mike was on here. It was great, very nice of him to come, but I didn't agree with what he was saying about being more okay with floating. The idea of floating.
Yeah.
I don't want that stuff, man. Like I just I've always said that it's more important to me that it's a tournament rather than a show, and usually that philosophy has brought me against esports rather than for esports. But I feel like in this situation, it somehow stars align and it's like a pro esports position somehow. But I don't want the players to have to deal with floating. I got a text or a tweet from Lucky D saying that when it was when the floating happened, he had to play against Ricky Ortiz. Okay. Lucky D is a Dawson player, and Ricky Ortiz is a Rufus player, which is an awful matchup just to start out with. But Ricky had played so much against Filipino champ that he knows the Dawson matchup better than almost any Rufus. So this is almost the worst draw for Lucky D. He goes from playing Lee Chung, I don't know how he would have done. I'm not saying he would have won, but it goes from whatever the percentage chance that he would win that match to really unlikely.
Right.
That he would win against Ricky. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's not what he expected. It's not what he thought was going to happen. He has to play it anyway. I just don't think that that's fair. If he had to play Ricky because that's how the bracket was, then that's how the bracket was. That's just how things happen sometimes. But for him to be put into that situation actively, I think really sucks.
Why is it that, like, there's this rumor going around now that Ricky was the one who asked to be floated.
I heard about that rumor, yeah.
And I don't understand that, because Joe and Johnny literally came out and said that this had no player interaction, that they just did it themselves.
Yeah,
right? So I don't know where this is coming from.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about the situation. I haven't actually talked with any of those guys, having been busy and, you know, not really awake for like a majority of last week. But I don't know, maybe it's the case that there was player input and then the guys just decided to take the whole rap themselves. If that's the case, then definitely that's, you know, I respect that a lot, to just take the all the responsibility as tournament organizers. I respect that. But I if there were more going on, I wish that people would talk about it, and identify people. And not just have it be, Spooky, I know, I heard about all this.
Oh, he talked about it as well?
He did, yeah. Although, he didn't name names. And I understand not wanting to name names, believe me, because it's not nice to have to do. But I just really want to, you know, shine some sunlight on all of this BS. And I
mean, this is what I said. Like, if we just made a rule, if every TO just said no more floating, we're done.
That's the end of it.
That's it, right? You don't have that situation anymore again where it's like, but they floated. Right. Why don't we? Like, that's just what I said. Let's set a hard, fast rule. Let's cut it off at the head, basically, right? And just, that's it. No more floating. And then as we do this, as time goes on and we can get a better ranking system, then we just rank by seed, and then it's all done. It's all done at that point in time, right? And then we don't even need to worry about it at all because the seeding will take care of everything.
Somebody asks what floating is.
Oh, okay. So floating basically is you take a look at the brackets, you set up the brackets how they go, and then as it plays out, you look at yourself and you say, you know what? I don't want this matchup to happen here, or for whatever reason, these two practice with each other. So let's swap two people in the bracket. They're still in the same place, so they still have to win as many matches, but you just moved them to different sections of the bracket. You know, this could involve moving 2 people, switching 3 people, you know, like cycling around or whatever like that, but that's basically what floating is. So, again, I just don't see any reason to adjust it. Like I said, I think it's great that Joe and Johnny came out and said that, we made a mistake. Even Joe...
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, Joe even said he made a rookie mistake.
I really respect them for that.
And, you know, I think it's sad that they are going to take away, you know, Capcom Pro Tour points from ECT next year. I think that's really unfortunate because ECT is it's a fine event and everything. Obviously, they just have this one issue that's coming up here that's really putting a blemish on them. But, I mean... To me, like, I'm sad because Joe's my friend. Johnny's my friend. But if this is what it takes to get everybody to really pay attention to it and stop doing this, then I mean, like I said, at least they're being responsible about it and not getting mad about it and stuff like that.
The thing about this situation is that everybody is friends, or at least friends of friends. Everybody's an acquaintance. And so people don't want to blow up their friend or their friend's friend.
Yeah,
because then people who are your friends can hate you. I know how it is. Believe me. But I really wish anyway that people would talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not the case, in my view at least. I know this is not shared by everybody, but I feel like I can call a friend out on their BS and be like, look, dude, you screwed up. You have to not do this again. And still be friends and not... And, like, that shouldn't ruin the friendship. Like, definitely, I've had many times where that's happened to me. I've done that to different friends, and we're nevertheless friends. But it's just... I know that's not something that a lot of people can deal with very well. And a lot of people don't deal with criticism of any kind very well.
And it's like a lot of people have been mad at L.I. Joe and stuff like that, like, oh, he's shady. You know, they had all these bad things to say about him now, dude. Like, it's one mistake. He came out with it. He admitted it. Look, if it's something that's had bad reputation after bad reputation, a.k.a. a John Nelson tournament or something like that, you know, even after the first time it went bad, people gave, you know, Revelations a second chance.
Do you remember when people did not want to call him out in public?
We
knew he was a huckster, man. There were already 2 or 3 tournaments that he had run that were BS.
And so, like, if it's a history of that kind of thing, then this is, you know, obviously we don't want to have stuff happen twice in a row. But the thing about it is ECT's already run, this was ECT 4 or ECT 5, I think it was. They've already ran a few tournaments in a row with no like crazy problems. And this was not even a crazy problem. This is a float, not like I didn't pay anybody or with money kind of stuff like that. So I don't think we're at any point right now where we should be calling anybody frauds on the ECT staff. Or like
in fact, I respect them more for actually addressing it and saying they won't do it anymore. That's how you handle those situations, right? So that makes me like and respect them more,
right?
Because now I feel like if I'm doing something stupid, or if Joe is, I can be like, dude, no, or he can be like, David, no.
Right.
And we'll be like, okay, well, all right, like, you're right, let's hang out anyway. Like,
that's exactly why as soon as they tweeted that we were the ones that did this and blah, blah, I tweeted them immediately. I was like, I don't agree with this. I think you should not do this anymore. Because I feel like I know him well enough, you know, that I can talk to him about these kind of things. So.
I hear you, man. But, you know, Keats is in chat saying that that's not how fighting game players work, and he's right. There are definitely some players who would, well, a lot of players who don't work like that. They, you know, we've talked about the whole top player kind of state of mind, the privilege thing, and I don't know that that's what happened in this situation. There are the rumors, and I just don't know enough about it to say. But that the privilege part of it is not having to kind of deal with getting called out. Or really getting criticized, or right. People are used to not dealing with that.
Okay. Well, speaking of getting called out and and criticized, I mean, there was a little bit on our Kappa recently where Tampa Bison kind of came out and went to town on Triforce after Triforce was on Live on 3.
Yeah.
And he said that the Empire players, that he named a few key people and said they were salaried. Yeah. And that's why Tampa Bison came out and got mad, and then Triforce threatened to sue him. Me and Mike talked about this a little bit last week. I mean, I wanted to ask this question to you because obviously lawyer is your profession, and Triforce said he was going to threaten to sue Tampa Bison for slander. I mean, is there actually a case here at all, or, you know?
First of all, it'd be libel, not slander.
Well, defamation of character is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Defamation of character is what he said. So,
defamation of character?
Or something like that, yeah. Oh, should we just change the subject now?
I can tell you this: truth is an absolute defense to that stuff. So if whatever he said was true, then it's fine.
Right.
If it wasn't, then I don't know. Maybe there are some issues that could come up.
Okay.
He's definitely not suing. Like, there's no concern.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But if he were to.
Right. Let's just say in some magical fantasy world, right?
Sure. Then he probably wouldn't win because.
Okay.
I mean, because I guess I believe Tampa Bison.
Right. Okay.
Is what it boils down to.
Right.
If that's misplaced, if I'm trusting the wrong guy, then maybe there's a case of some kind. I don't know. Maybe not even. Dude, it's been so long since I took the bar. We had to learn about defamation and all that stuff and what the criteria were, and I don't remember now. But I do know that if it was true, then whatever.
Right. Okay. Well,
there's no case.
Speaking of Tampa Bison and our Kappa, let's just go ahead and move on.
Reddit.
One of the coolest things that they're going to try to do on our Kappa is they're going to try to sponsor a player who represents our Kappa the best and send them to Evo. So they're actually, I don't know if it's like a crowdfunding thing, but what they're doing a nomination process right now. So they actually want to send someone over there. They want to send someone who's good, who has a legitimate chance of doing well. They want to put, have the R Kappa be like the name on there and everything like that. And so they've nominated a bunch of players, and right now it seems like the 2 players who are in the top running, and if they get enough, they may even send 2 people. But they said that the players right now, number 1 is Tampa Bison, And number 2 is Alex Myers.
Alex Myers.
Yeah, exactly. So those apparently
interesting.
The 2, and actually, you know, a lot of people did talk about Broly Legs, I think, as well. So I saw a few people.
Broly Legs would be a great choice too. Any of those guys would be a great choice.
Yeah, but it's like they want to have people who are good enough. Like they don't want to just send some scrub there and just get blown up.
Of course,
right? So let's face it, everybody on our camp is a scrub. No, I'm kidding. But you know, they want to send someone who has a really good chance, and so they want to send someone who represents them well, who's good at calling out bullshit and all this other stuff like that.
Right. Well, so, all those people do that.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I love that idea. Mm-hmm,
yeah, mm-hmm. I really do. That subreddit has gotten some flack, but I think it's great. I really do. It's like anything where there are the idiots and there are the trolls, and well, the negative trolls, because everybody's a troll.
Right.
Everybody, by which I mean everybody, may have more than one or several accounts. But the funny thing is now I troll about having multiple accounts. That's how deep this has gotten.
Right.
Do I really have multiple accounts? Maybe not.
Dude, I can honestly say I only have one account on our
cap. Well, maybe I only have one as well.
That's just me. I have one account on everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've created a troll account on anything. Like, ever.
Oh, wow.
Not on Twitter, not on Twitch, nothing. I should do one for Twitch, actually.
You should do one.
Just so I can just jump on.
I assume.
Just so I can talk without, you know, just make comments or whatever like that,
yeah.
And just be a jerk or whatever, you know.
It's fun. But anyway, I do like the subreddit. I love Reddit's like format.
Mm-hmm.
Really like that layout. I use it all the time. I mean, look, people complain about Reddit. That seems like the weirdest complaint to me, because you're just complaining about the internet. People like I know people who don't like Reddit because there are some subreddits where like people talk about, I don't know, racist stuff or sexist stuff.
Right.
But there are web pages where people talk about sexist and racist stuff, but you're online still.
Right.
And it's almost the same analogy. It's like almost a one-to-one.
Right.
You don't have to deal with those people in that subreddit at all. It's a completely different thing.
I like I Am Sam 8's idea for a troll account for me. EMP, definitely not jchensor.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can confirm that I am not Guard Crush Special.
Dude, are you Duckdo?
No, I'm not Duckdo either.
I actually had someone say to me, like, ask me if they thought Duckdo was terrible. Because, like, he yelled at me one time and everything like that. And I was just like, he hates everybody. And I kind of respect that.
Yeah, he does.
I kind of respect it.
Well, whoever's behind it, I don't know about he.
Oh, well, they are an equal opportunity hater, which I appreciate. So,
Definitely. It's like how Newsman used to be back when he used to write articles.
Are there no more Scoop Newsman articles?
I don't know.
I think he's really depressed recently, so
yeah.
Just through some, you know, certain things that happened. But in any case, yeah.
That's too bad. I hope that she feels better in the future.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway, I really do like the subreddit. I like GAF. I like SRK. I always go on stuff. I always find that, you know, talking about criticism, that criticism is lighter and more constructive if people know that you're there, and if people know that you're participating, and if you're watching. That happens all the time. How often have you seen somebody get ripped to shreds, and then that person come in and be like, hey, and then the person that start, right? It's happened to you.
It's 100% happened to me.
Right? That happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I notice that it happens that I get blown up less since I joined GAF. And
dude, I want to get a NeoGAF account. I want to get a NeoGAF account, but it's so hard. I need Markman to help me get an account there or something like that. So but to be honest with you, I have trouble keeping up with that thread because it just keeps going crazy. So.
The GAF thread?
Yeah.
Yeah. I basically just go on NeoGAF and go to search for Ultra David, and that's it.
Yeah, very specific, just making sure. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. But I don't know. I actually hadn't used RCAPA much at all until just recently. I've been monitoring it a little bit, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's trolly, it's internetish, but
it's
you know,
it's good. It's good to be on, man. And criticism is a useful thing. You know, you have to try to see past the negative.
The first time I posted on R Kappa, someone like posted something, and I just wrote this really serious response to them.
Yeah.
Right? And they were like, dude, do you not know this is R Kappa? Like, what is wrong with you, right? And so recently I just like posted something and someone like tried to call me out on it. They're like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, you must be new here. You're trying to call out an R Kappa comment? You know? Like,
there you go. That's how it goes, man.
So I turned it on.
Pick it up.
So, yeah,
exactly.
So.
I really wish that more people would do that. I mean, my ability to deal with criticism is something that's very definitely been honed in like the fires of the internet. I mean, in real life stuff too, because whatever I've been writing and so forth, I understand how criticism goes. But for sure, having been an internet troll myself for a decade and a half, like there's a crucible, you know, and I'm like, I've been in the flame, I've been in there, and I come out and I'm.
So that's the hardest thing.
I'm a sword now.
I'm not much of a trolling person, so that's why I have trouble dealing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just not in my nature. So it's definitely. But I'm learning. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn.
You are.
So,
You are.
But yeah.
Well, hey, do you want to take a break? And
sure. Yeah.
I really want to talk about some Street Fighter 4. Oh, I noticed we have like 5 minutes left, but.
Yeah, but I mean, fortunately, there's no show that sucks today.
Oh, that's right, dude. It's not Tuesday.
It's the fake Tuesday.
Let's do that.
Right.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. I really want to talk about the Ultra Street Fighter 4 videos that have come out.
Okay. I just see David as a sword. Nice. Okay.